afternoon. My name is Ernesto Cosentino. My student number is w1939035. Today I will demo my coursework 2, which is called Travel Tales. Travel Tales is a travel blog web app that's like a social media, but for travelers. That's made by travelers for travelers. And I'll show you how it works from a user's perspective. First, I'll go through the UI, I'll go through the registration, the login, the creating a post, the liking a post, the editing a post, the changing, the searching for countries that is found in coursework 1. Using microservices, I will show you the search tab and the follow system. I also added a following feed where users can see posts from their followers and their from people they follow. I mean, next up, I will talk about the overall architecture of my program. Also, talk about different different files and different authentications. I mean, different flows such as authentications. Maybe I don't know. We'll see as we go. Maybe a reaction flow or maybe a country information flow or login flow, etc. And then finally, I will talk about the security and design justifications on why I chose this, how I did it, etc. So without further ado, I will first off show you my two projects running. One is running here on a terminal on my machine. I can restart it again just for the what's it called? Just for the demonstration's sake, sorry. And then here you can see that it's running. I have a bunch of logs that will show that is running. And then secondly, I have the second file here that's running on Docker that exposes this port. We see it running on Docker. I have it here too. Finally, I mean not finally, but without further ado, let's see the project. So now that I have it running, I have the project here. I will start it over just so it's clear, and we can see that the local host is 5051, not 5050. That's running on my Docker, and so this is what the user is greeted with. When it clicks home, an unregistered user can see the post. But to like the post, they need to log in. Also, to dislike the post, they need to log in. We can see here that there's a bunch of users. I mean, a bunch of trips that show. The bunch of blogs that are shown to the user. The user can also search for a country that is present. We could do Senegal. We can search it, and it says this. And then we can also search amazing and as a keyword, and it'll probably come up amazing. And I could search this, all the amazing comes up. So we can see that we can also search by country and by keyword. We can search the different blogs, and then we can see here the countries. And once we click here, we can see it running in the backend. That's they're running in the backend, calling the coursework 1. I could go all the way up. It's just a lot of countries, so I don't think that would be smart to do that. But we could come here and we can see a list of all the countries. And let's say we choose Bangladesh, for instance. It says no data found. That's weird because it usually should find data. But let's try another one. It says no data found. That's very weird because it usually does find data for the countries. At least it used to, till now, up to now. We can run it again. We can search for countries with us. We can see that it ran. and it says no data found. Uh, Let me just see this. Give me a second. Test at example.com. Test at 3. Login. Get country info. Uh, uh, Country. Let's go to the index. It's because the country name here is. So basically, what happened was, I'm glad it happened because it shows another functionality. It's basically happened because to get the country info, it needs to be authenticated. That is a business choice I made by mistake, I guess. But my thinking behind it is a some mistake. But now that I can think about it and I can reflect, I could say that, oh, the unregistered user can only see the list as as options, but a registered user can also get the informations uh, of the country that is searched. So we can see here why that triggered. That is because there is a JWT authentication middleware that um, that makes sure that the not the, that makes sure that the route is protected, means that it needs to have a token of a logged in user for it to be accessible. So next up, I will also show, sorry for the little inconvenience that I've caused there and the time I've wasted. However, I think it shows my application in more detail. Next up, we have the login that I just showed you because of the mistake I made. You can see that the login shows logged in, and then I have my profile that loads up. I think that should load my posts. Like I said, it takes time, but it loads my post, and I can edit my post. Let's say Rome has so much history. Edit it again. Let's say Rome Rome was not built in a day. I could save the changes, post updated successfully, and then we can see here that uh, this didn't change, but I know if I go here and I load my posts, and it's gonna take a bit of time again because one of the features that I've implemented it from here too is that this also, when a logged in user calls press the home button, it also gets the flag from the coursework one microservices. So that's going to take a bit of time. But if I come back here uh, and I can my profile, I press it again, it refreshes and it says Rome was not built in a day. And if I come here and we wait a little bit till it loads, we can see here Microsoft is loaded. We can see the likes and dislikes, and the likes and dislikes are also updated dynamically. It reloads the post. I know it's not very fast, and I know there are functions I could use to make it fast, like a sync, I believe, uh, is a possibility. I'm not sure if it's a possibility in I mean, I know it's a possibility because I've just done a coursework with Swift UI that uses a lot of the syncs. So I disliked one country. I could dislike this one. We could see here Rome was not built in a day. I disliked it, and I could close it, and you can see that Rome was not built in a day. Dislikes it, and I could like it again, and Rome was not built in a day. Likes it, and then I could also do most liked. That is the trope you do, and then this is the newest, the most commented. Doesn't work. I tried to implementing it and adding comments, but due to time, I didn't do it. And here we can see uh, the flag disappeared. Maybe my token expired. I think that my token expired because it's been a day, and I will also show you how to update the token and get a new token. I think because of my coursework one security measures, the token expires every day, so I need to go to Postman and get a new token from coursework one. Uh, we could try to get a new token right now and fix it. I'm glad all these errors are coming up now because it means that I can fix fix it accordingly, and you can also see my project running with problems and how I fix them, etc. We could go to headers. Uh, we can change the, I think here. Uh, I think if it was here, it should have been here. Sorry, my bad. Here we can see boom, boom, enter. Sorry. Uh, and then here, once it's logged in, we can maybe try to get country. I'm not sure if this is the correct. Says a get request country. Uh, let me see the. Let me see the. API countries. API country. API country. API countries. Sorry, sir. API key missing. So okay, so to generate the API key, we could click this and then we can go like this because the key don't expire. See, we can get all of them, and now we see that this uh, token is active. We can change it in our where is it? The TNV, and you can see here, sir, how we change it. We can change it like this. Boom, boom, save, boom, and we can run the service again, start over. But I'm glad it happened because this allows me to fix things as we go, and this allows you, sir, if you face these problems, to fix them too. So we ran it again, and we can go home. It runs. Unlogged in users can see the posts. We could log in. Login is test at example.com. Password is test123, and we can log in and we can wait for the posts to load. We can wait for the posts to load, and in the meantime, we can look at our profile. We can see who we follow. We can see if we unfollow test that example. When we come here in the following feed, we can see that it's empty, and then it's still loading. And then we see here that the flag reloaded because I updated the API key. We can wait here till the country loads. It takes time sometimes. We have Eritrea, and we can see the Eritrea's flag, the capital city, and the details. We can see that it ran and it worked. And the token worked because I updated it. Like I said, sir, because of security reasons and how I implemented coursework one, it expires every day. So the key, I think, the was it the key or the token? Give me a second. Uh, I'm kind of bad sometimes. Right? The token, yeah, the token kind of expires every day, so we need to regenerate a new one, relog in on coursework one. Uh, and I do it. And we need to regenerate a new one and put it in the env file. However, this is the follow. This is the UI. Uh, this is the UI. This is the basically the UI functionalities. And here we can create a post. I could say country United Kingdom, and then title London. The content can be London is the best. And we can add the date, we can do this, and then we can create a post. And as posted, we can see that is posted, and we can uh, reload it, and we can see that that's weird. Uh, if I go on my home blog, let's see if United Kingdom comes up. I feel like United Kingdom sometimes has problems mm, because of the uh, because of the name, because it's two words as opposed to one. Like I said, here we go. It takes time, but it worked. Uh, I can also edit it, and we can see that London is the best. We can see that London is great. And I can save changes, post updated successfully, and we can see that is London's the best goes to London is great. It updates dynamically, and we can also find the post here, I suppose. Also, we just have to wait a little bit and see the post. Sorry for it not being faster, and we can wait, and we can see the newest. And once everything loads up, it's pretty fast. But for the first loading, it's very hard. We can see here, and I can like it, and it will update it. And every time this happens, it calls the render uh, function. That's why it kind of takes time. Render post, and the difference between uh, liked, I could close it. Uh, it will definitely update. It just takes time, and we can see the newest. We can see the most liked. We can see the newest, and then the you see that it updated the like, and then we can see the following feed, which is empty now, and I will show you how we can populate we can follow people too. In my application, we follow people through blogs. We don't just have a list of like users where we could just follow anyone. We just follow blogs, and we can see that our own post has like, dislike, edit, delete buttons, and for the other people's posts, we have the follow. And now I'm following a new user, and it's reloading. But then if we load the followers feed, it comes up here, and on my profile I can see my follower here. We have a test 2 example where I can log out uh, I can log out, and then I can test 2 example. Password is the same as test 123. I could log in, and on my profile, uh, logged in, and on my profile, I can see I have one post, I have one follower, but I'm not following anybody. And on my home, I can see all the posts that the user has posted, and I can follow or unfollow users. And uh, this is the front end of my app. This is how it works. This is the functionalities I've implemented. Next up, we will talk about the overall architecture of my application. My application follows a MVC architecture with services and microservices. As we can see here, we have a MVC architecture with services and a microservice found in country services that I'll go in depth to in a bit. My application is structured into clear layers, each responsible for a specific job. I think this improves the modularity, the security, and also the maintainability of my app. First off, we will talk about the front end, which is found in the public folder that has two files, the frontend.js and the index.html. This provides the user interface, and it allows the user to register, to log in, to create a post, to delete a post, edit a post, view countries, to like posts, unfollow users, follow users, etc. How my application does this is by sending a request to the backend using the fetch keyword. For instance, here on create post, we have the fetch keywords that sends a request to the backend. Posts, we could see this in the index.js. Where is the index.js? And then here we can see that there's a post request that is JWT protected, and that gets a post, that gets the post that is created in the that gets the post that basically gets the post that the user wants to get, and it does this by calling the blog post services, and the blog post services .create, and passes the user ID, the country, the title, the content. This is a post request, so it's not getting it. Sorry, this is the one that gets posts. So I'm very sorry. So when we go to the front end, that's why, and we see the create post. That's why. So the create post is a post method, not a get method, that posts that creates posts. So the user inputs, the country, the title, the content, and the date, and all of this is posted to the backend using the fetch keyword, and then from here it goes to here, that handles the blog post here with all the user's inputs, and checks if there are any missing required fields. And these fields are the country, title, and content, so the date can be empty. And then this calls the blog post create and passes all that the user has inputted into the service. And then where is it? The blog service dot create. Here it is, and this calls the blog post. This does the create post, which goes to here. Where is it? Create post. That then this inserts it into the this like creates the blog post and inserts it in the database. So this is how it works, and the UI uses the file use DOM manipulation to update the UI dynamically. Next up, we will go to the index.html, which is the main brain of my app. This sets up the Express server here, as we can see, and defines all the routes. It initializes obviously the services and also calls in all the routes. We have post method, get method. We have posts, gets, puts, deletes, everything that is used in our app. Every route, like register, posts, follow, etc., is defined here, and it connects each route to connecting to a corresponding service, just like I showed you earlier, and applies also the GWT middleware authentication, if meaning this, what this basically means is, like I showed you in the UI, if a user is not logged in, he can't do certain things, and this is what enforces that rule basically, with a token, as a token is input. So the logged in user has a token, and the token is used for him to have access to certain functionalities. And then it also starts the server on a specific port. It also starts the server at a specific port. Here, boom. You can see that it starts the server at a specific port, and it's dynamic. And then we gonna go on to the services. In the services, we have 5 files. Each handle core app logic, example, how user logs in, and how reactions are saved, etc. It talks to the DAO, which means the direct access objects, that then it interacts with the database. It secures and also validates data if needed. Here it validates the data, it compares it, and on here, for instance, it hashes, so it secures the data. Next up, we will talk about the DAO, which is the data access layer, data access object layer, sorry. We got 4 files: user, blog post, follows, and reaction. Each DAO contains direct SQL commands. They read from and write to the SQL database. We can see here, they write, they delete, and they select. They do a CRUD operation. In the database, they only interact with data. They have no business logic. We can think of them like a database secretary, and they just do whatever they are told, basically. Next up, we have the SQL connection, which is the database connector. It uses SQL3 to connect the Traveltail database file. It creates the required tables like users, blog posts, follows, reactions, etc. And all of this runs when the app starts. This basically is my database engine setup. It defines my tables and connects everything to my SQL. And then we also have a JWT authentication file, which is the authentication layer, and it basically, what it does is reads the authentication header from incoming requests and verifies the JWT token using my secret, and adds user's info, ID, and email to the request user, and blocks any unauthorized access to protected routes. Like, let's say if the user is not logged in, they can't follow anybody or like a post. We finally have a microservice layer, which connects my coursework 1 project. That is, where is it? That is containerized using Docker. I created a Docker file, and that installs dependencies and runs the app on port 5050. And we can see here that it's running it on Docker. You can see that I had already run it, but this is not a problem. It still runs on Docker, and coursework and on port 5050, and coursework 2, which is running directly on my computer, connects to coursework 1 by calling user country service, sorry, by by calling the localhost 5050 API. This allows Coursework 2 to basically get the country data from Coursework 1 securely, and the keys and the token is sent in the header here, as we can see, and and the Coursework 1 key and token are saved here too in my .env file. And next up, I'll talk about the authentication flow and other flows to just show you how the app works and how the different flows work in this application. First off, we can go to we could see the authentication flow. Like I said, we could go to user services.js, and we can see here the register user and the login user function. The register user function hashes the password before saving it, and the login user function here, we can see that it compares the password and generates a JWT token with the user's ID and email. And in the JWT auth, we can see that the token, the JWT checks the token on protected routes. I extract the token from the header here, we can see that, and then it verifies it here using JSON web token. It verifies it here using JSON web token, and then the decoded data is attached to the requests object for use in like protected routes, and so that certain functionalities are only available for logged in users. And next up, we can maybe go to the blog creation flow. When a blog is created in the front end, we can go from the front end just all the way to the back to show you how it works. When a blog is created, the front end, where is it? Yeah, here. When a blog is created, the front end calls the post. This is handled by a route in index, because like I said, index handles all the routes. And because we can see here that post, let's find post. Here you go. We can see that only an authenticated user can create a post, and this, we can see that this post calls the blog post service.create and passes everything the user had created, and then this inserts the post into the database. This insert this, then we could see it here. We could go to blog post services and then create, cause this, and then we could go in here. Where's the blog post? Oh, here you go, boom, and to create post. And we can see, sorry, I know I kind of confused you, it just made sense in my head. So what it does is the blog post service.create forwards it to the blog post DAO.create post, which then this inserts the post into the database under the current user's ID. This is the flow from front end to back end. And then I also want to show you the Coursework 1 country info flow to see how the country data is fetched securely from Coursework 1 microservices from the front end when the user selects one from the front end, when the user selects a country from the drop down. I'll show you. Give me a second, sir. Load posts. load country. It when the user calls in the when the user from the front end selects a country from the drop down, the function here, load country info, triggers sends a get request to API country and the country name that the user has selected, and this is handled, like I said, in the index.js here, and in the index.js, I know I did it last, in the index.js, that is the protected route calls what's it called? This calls the country service get country info, and then this method here we was forwarded this route forwards it to country service dot get country info, which is found here, and we can see that this method here this method here get country info here uses Axios to make a secure call to the coursework one, to coursework one's country.name endpoint. Country.name endpoint. We can see this. This endpoint in, where is it? In my index here. Country.name here. It makes an API call, and basically, what the and this includes both the token and the API key in the header, and coursework one basically validates the request and returns the country's name, the capital city, the flag, and other details are returned to the front end, and then these are rendered in the countries section. And this is one of the microservices flow to get the country info. There's also another one to get just the flag. But next up, I can show you another flow, which is the reactions flow. I can show you what I did here in the DAO. We can see here that I used a clever trick that I learned while I was developing this application called onConflict that avoids duplicates and enables efficient updates. Likes and dislikes are then counted using the sum logic. In a select query, this is displayed per post, like every other, and every post underneath it's displayed, and we also have a follow system, and I could show you a follow system that I've implemented. We can go, like I said, from the front end to the back. We can go to the front end here, and we can see when a user follows another user, where is it? Like post, unfollow, follow user. You can see here that it calls the follow and the user ID, which goes to the index here, follow, user ID, post follow, get here. When only like authenticated users can do that, and it calls the following service does follow, which stores the relationship here, the logic dot follow, following service dot follow here. It calls the follow, forwards it to the flow DAO dot follow user, and it calls in the follow DAO dot follow user here, and this basically inserts the follows table, inserts the follower, the user in the follows table. But if it already exists, like if he already is following the person, it just ignores it, and if and the follow the followers, like how can I explain this? It fetches how do I explain this? And after we follow a user, we can see the following feed. Like I showed you, we can see the people we follow. If let's say I follow user A, I could just say, oh, just like Instagram, I can go and say, oh, I want to see just people I follow, posts from people I follow. So to show you how it works in code, we can go back to the follow, to the front end .js. The function is I think it's called following feed, or load following feed. Load country info is definitely called load following feed. Load following. This is if it loads the following users, not the feed. Load my posts. Create posts. And load following feed. This is the function. And what this is basically is when the user clicks show me my following, the feed of my following, the people I follow. When the user clicks that, this function here is triggered, and when the user so when the user follows that, this function is triggered, and it sends a GET request to the that shows posts following foo. That is the route of the GET the GET request, and it attaches the token, because I believe it's what's it called? It has a security, because only logged in users can have followings. And what this does is, in the backend, it shows the index in the index.js, posts full following. Where is it? Post following full here. It, like I said, this is why it has the JW token, and this basically calls in the follow services, get follower ID, which then it internally uses get follower ID, which then uses follow.dao get followed users IDs to fetch the IDs from the follow.dao ID that basically fetches the IDs from the follow table, and we can see here after that and we can see here that after that if there are followed users, it dynamically builds an SQL query to fetch all blog posts from the users using the blog post table, and then after that it basically goes over each post and calls the country services dot country info and passes the post country to basically enrich each post with data like capital and flag from coursework 1, and also calls in the reaction services the reaction post ID to basically get the counts of likes and dislikes, etc. And then back in the front end we can see here that it then renders the posts to display every updated post dynamically inside the home posts container. This is basically the flows I've implemented and certain features I had in my app. I cannot show you every function one by one because of time and because of time, and I showed you what I thought was interesting and what I thought made me learn more, and what I thought was different from coursework 1 in terms of design and security choices. I made sure that all sensitive routes were protected by cw2 tokens. Passwords are hashed before the storage, and my coursework 1 microservice uses both the token and an API key, which I stored like here in my .env file. I've also added here session middleware, even though it's not used in this particular app. It could be used for future use, such as admin, dashboard, or even persistent logins. And I also designed this app in a way that is modular and maintainable. The DAO layer is always reusable. Services keep the business logic clean, and then the controller, which is the index, we can see that only routes and delegation basically. And then I have a middleware that isolates security logic. So I think that this separations means that any feature can be modified, can be added without breaking others. And you can see that I've even started a couple of features that aren't fully implemented. I'm not sure if this version has the functions or I have removed them, but anything can be added without breaking anything basically. And it's good for sprints. It's good for sprints to test new features, new products, and etc. And for testing this project, I tested it manually using the UI and also Postman, and all routes were tested using valid and invalid data as well, like doing edge cases and stuff like that. And yeah, This was my project. Thank you for watching my presentation. Travel Tales was really interesting to build. It was very challenging. I learned a lot. And this is all for now. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir. Have a good rest of the day.